Hey, what's up guys? It's your pal Ben here with Twig Cycles in Hagerstown, Maryland, and behind me I got a 2023 Honda Rebel 500 SE ABS. This is one of my favorite entry-level cruisers, so we're gonna dive in here and check this thing out. All right guys, we're gonna kick things off here. We got a 2023 Honda Rebel 500 ABS SE. The SE gives you a lot of really cool features. Obviously you get that really cool titanium bronze metallic paint scheme, which is accented very, very well with that awesome brown stitched seat. You get the really cool fork gators up here to kind of protect your forks and stuff. And then you get the really cool mini cowl around that LED headlight. And of course with those beautiful bronze rims. So the Honda Rebel 500 is very simple in design, which I think is important for those of you that are looking for a great beginner bike. I do like that they didn't load this thing down with a lot of crazy bells and whistles. It is a fuel injected liquid cooled motorcycle, so that's going to be really nice. It's going to run very, very cool. It's not going to be overly hot or anything like that. But in terms of being fuel injected, that's going to be very, very easy. Lower maintenance, lower hassle typically. Carbureted bikes can sometimes be, especially if they're older, can sometimes be cantankerous on a hot or a cold day, give or take. You know, they are all kind of freaks of their own nature sometimes. But yeah, carbureted bikes, you would normally see a fuel valve down here or a choke, both actually, or your choke would actually be up here on the handlebar. Some bikes do have the choke up on the handlebar. This one you don't have to worry about. It is fuel injected, so all you would literally do is turn the key on, kill switch on, and then hit the start button. So it's very, very simple. In regards to your handlebars, so you have your clutch over here, low beam, high beam, got your horn right there, left and right turn signal. Get your dash, which I'll get into here in a minute. Your front brake is up here, throttle, kill switch, your hazards are there. And I went ahead and put the bike in neutral. I went ahead and hit the start button here and fired up for you. So I'm going to focus in here on the dash really quick. It does just kind of show the bare necessities, which I like. Love that about a nice beginner bike. Nothing super confusing. It's very simple. You have your indicator lights up here. So you have a high beam indicator. You have your turn signal indicators right there. You can see the ABS light is on because we're sitting still. As soon as I start moving, the wheels begin rotating, that light would go off unless there's an issue. This light is on again just because I have the engine turned off. But up here you got a fuel gauge, speedometer, gear indicator, and your time is right there at the very top. So it's all very, very simple, easy to understand. Your bar setup, which I just covered, is very simple. Nothing crazy, just regular fuel these take. It does not take the high octane, which is good. Your key, ignition key, is what actually operates your gas cap, and it just hinges open like that. So you don't have to worry about setting your gas cap down and forgetting it or something like that, something crazy. I've seen that happen. There's not a whole lot to cover really down on the left-hand side here. You can see this is a chain-driven motorcycle. You do have to adjust it every so often, which if you're not familiar with doing that on your own, definitely take it to a local dealership and have them do that for you. It's very quick and very simple. I'm not going to get into how they do that, but you can actually kind of see they kind of go off these lines here that are on the back of the swing arm here. And all they do is they kind of pull the axle back and take out a little bit of the slack on your chain here. So that's kind of what they do. But definitely, if you're not used to doing that, just go ahead and take it to your local dealership. It's very quick, very simple. They can get that done in probably a half hour or so. You can see we do have a battery tender coming off on the left-hand side. Your battery's right underneath the seat, essentially, kind of right behind that left-hand side cover. But we put a battery tender on everything that we sell here at Twig Cycles. It just makes it easier, assuming that folks already have a battery tender or charger at home. It makes things easier for the buyer. If they have one at home, they can plug the bike in. In the winter months when they're not riding, just kind of keep the battery fresh and healthy. Just kind of preventative maintenance there. working our way over to the right-hand side. I know we get a lot of people asking if they have different, aftermarket exhaust and stuff. Not everybody likes that big chunky muffler coming off the back. You can do that. There's some different custom pipes and stuff that you can get, but you can see this is a twin cylinder engine. So we got two header pipes coming in down into a collector pipe back there. The 500 is a twin cylinder bike, which makes this a little peppier. So not only is it a 500cc engine compared to the Rebel 300, the Rebel 300 is a 300cc engine, single cylinder. This is a 500cc engine, twin cylinder. So it's going to be a little bit peppier, a little bit torquier. That's why I say this is definitely a bike that's going to fit both beginner riders and folks that are looking to kind of step down from a bigger bike. As I had mentioned, this is a liquid cooled motorcycle, so you can see we got your radiator right up here. Okay, so you get the radiator, ABS brakes on this, which is very nice to have, especially if you're a beginner rider. ABS brakes are definitely a safety feature, a great advantage there. Now for me personally, I'm 6'2", so I fit just about every motorcycle that we sell, but I'm gonna go ahead and grab one of our guys, Keith, who's a little bit shorter than me. I'm gonna throw him on here and see how he fits.
Morning.
All right, guys, so we got Keith here, one of our salesmen here at Twig Cycles. Keith, how tall are you?
5'6".
5'6". Keith is 5'6". Just wanted to show you guys what Keith looks like. I'm 6'2", so obviously a very different stature compared to Keith, but Keith, you're 5'6", which that's about the average size of most of the riders on some of the Rebels. Would you agree?
I would absolutely agree.
So, but go ahead and sit down there real quick. Put your foot up on the peg. Does it feel like it's too far of a reach for you?
It does not, actually. It feels perfect.
Pretty comfortable?
Yes, sir.
Everything's not in really an awkward position, it feels? Everything feels good?
Everything feels good.
Sweet.
The levers are at the right distance from the bars. They feel great. I can get both feet solid down. With
Both feet are down?
Yep.
Okay,
Both feet
that's
on
good.
the ground.
Low seat height?
Absolutely. And comfortable and lightweight as well.
Cool. So there you got a chance to see kind of what, as we said, Keith is about 5'6". You can kind of see what a 5'6" rider would look like on the Honda Rebel. As he had said, it's very confidence boosting. If you're 6'2", you're definitely going to fit on this bike. No troubles at all. You're going to fit on it. It's just a matter of how long you're probably going to keep it and how comfortable you're going to be. This is definitely not intended to be a long distance motorcycle, although I know people that have done long distance on the Rebel 500. They've kind of buckled down and loaded it down with some cargo and stuff like that, and kind of, done that sort of thing. One other really cool feature here. I got the ignition key on the other side, but there actually is a spot here that you can lock the steering on these, so it locks in place. So God forbid if anybody were to try and steal your motorcycle, they're not going to make it too far, and if they do, all they're going to be doing is left turns. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's got the little steering lock right there. You can get additional security features out of these, some aftermarket security if you want. So that's sort of going to wrap things up here on the Rebel 500. We covered a little bit of the basics. Like I say, it's a parallel twin 500cc fuel-injected liquid-cooled motorcycle. It's very confidence boosting. It's going to be definitely intended for your beginner riders. Deciding over the Rebel 300 or 500 is really going to depend on your personal experience and confidence level. If you're looking for something that you can grow and adapt and get used to very quickly and not get super bored with in the next month or two, the Rebel 500 is definitely a great bike you need to entertain. If you're completely green behind the ears and maybe the thought of motorcycles is definitely very scary right off the get-go, maybe entertain the Rebel 300. Again, a very confidence boosting motorcycle. Another rider that I think this motorcycle is going to be very suitable for are folks that maybe if you're sitting on a 700, 800 pound, maybe a 900 pound cruiser and just maybe looking to step down and maybe get away from those heavyweight motorcycles, get something into that mid-level category. The Rebel 500, there again, it's about a 45.9 horsepower bike. It's a parallel twin 500, so it's peppy, it's torquey. You're not going to get bored with it. It's an absolute blast to ride. And like I say, if you were riding 20, 30 years ago and you're looking to step back into it and not sure what to get, there again, this is going to be a great bike to kind of get your feet wet again. Annual maintenance is on these, so your first break-in period service is at 600 miles on the Rebel 300 and 500. And then annual services on these, just like just about every other Honda, it's every 4,000 miles. A couple key safety things, safety features that I want to point out here to you. So obviously this bike does have ABS brakes. So you have an analog brake system is what that stands for. ABS brakes are definitely a safety benefit that just about every rider can benefit from a motorcycle, big or small. But the ABS brakes in those quick moments of emergency where you have to, hopefully you're not grabbing the brakes, but if you do accidentally grab the brakes full blast, the ABS brakes are going to keep the bike from locking up and God forbid, hopefully you don't fall over, but that's the intended purpose behind ABS brakes is that you don't skid and fall over. And the other thing too is everything's very simple on this, nothing overly confusing for a beginner rider. Your handlebar setup, your seating setup, everything's very simple, quick and easy to understand. The other thing that I really like about this bike is all the LED lighting. So you have LED turn signals, taillight, and headlight. That headlight is a big thing. And even during the day, if you want to be super duper safe, do like I do, ride with your high beam during the day. It's not gonna blind people, especially during the day when the sun's out, but obviously you want to run at low beam during, at night if you have cars coming towards you. But that LED headlight is going to be fantastic both during the day and at night. You're going to be able to see at night, but it's also going to make you be seen by other riders and drivers out there. So that's going to wrap us up here a little bit, guys. Again, 2023 Honda Rebel 500 SE ABS. So if you guys have any questions, give me a shout. Your pal Ben here, Twig Cycles, 200 South Edgewood Drive. My phone number is 301-739-2773. Thank you so much for watching.